Encrypted transmission. Priority level Omega. From Scout Observer Kaztik to High Command Unified Hegemony. The observation pod's cramped interior was filled with the soft glow of monitoring equipment as Kaztik finalized his report. 3 standard cycles of Earth observation had yielded troubling conclusions, and the veteran scout's appendages trembled slightly as he encoded the transmission. What he had discovered would change everything the hegemony thought they knew about humans. Scout observer Kaztik maintained his cloaked position in high Earth orbit, carefully recording the movements of human spacecraft. The unified hegemony had dismissed this species as primitive, barely achieving rudimentary space travel, their technology centuries behind the galactic standard. They were scheduled for routine assimilation within the next solar cycle, but something wasn't adding up. Kaztik had infiltrated human information networks, childishly simple to bypass, and discovered numerous inconsistencies. Human news reported frequent satellite launches, yet his sensors detected far fewer objects in orbit than documented. Their military capabilities appeared limited to chemical propellants and basic nuclear fission, but power fluctuations across their planet suggested energy signatures beyond such primitive means. Most puzzling were the regular dark zones areas where his advanced sensors inexplicably failed. These blackouts occurred with mathematical precision that couldn't be natural. Computer, compile visual recordings of human spacecraft and compare with propulsion signatures, Kaztik ordered, his 4 eyes narrowing. The results confirmed his suspicions. The exhaust patterns from human rockets contained trace elements unnecessary for the reported thrust capabilities elements that, if properly configured, could mask quantum signatures. Kaztik's blood ran cold. He'd seen this before, on the outer rim civilizations that appeared primitive on the surface, while harboring advanced technology beneath. During his 3rd observation cycle, Kaztik witnessed something that confirmed his fears. A human weather satellite experienced what appeared to be a catastrophic failure debris scattered across low orbit. Standard procedure. Except that 16 seconds before the explosion, Kaztik's sensors detected a quantum fluctuation consistent with matter transfer technology. They had removed something from the satellite before deliberately destroying it. Kaztik infiltrated a human military installation, replacing a mid-level administrator with a biomimetic duplicate. The information he gathered was fragmentary but terrifying. References to Project Thunderbolt, Dark Fleet, and something called Nexus Protocol. Nothing concrete, but enough to piece together a hypothesis. The humans were maintaining a deliberate facade of technological inferiority. But why? The question plagued him until he intercepted a secured transmission between human military leaders. Hegemony Scout presence confirmed. Maintain Perseus Protocol. Dark Fleet remains ghosted. They knew not only about the hegemony's existence, which should have been impossible, but about Kaztik himself. The most damning evidence came during the lunar eclipse. As Earth's shadow crossed the moon, Kaztik's sensors detected, for just 3.6 seconds, enormous power signatures emanating from the dark side of the moon, power that rivaled hegemony battlecruisers. In his final days of observation, Kaztik noticed human satellites adjusting their orbits whenever his cloaked pod moved, compensating, tracking. Impossible unless they could somehow detect his supposedly undetectable vessel. Kaztik finished his report with a series of recommendations, each more urgent than the last. The unified hegemony needed to reconsider its assessment of human civilization immediately. This was no primitive species ripe for assimilation. This was something altogether more dangerous. As he prepared to transmit, his pod system suddenly flickered. A power drain? Impossible. His vessel contained fail-safes specifically designed to. A soft tone indicated an incoming transmission on his secure hegemony frequency. Scout observer Kaztik A calm human voice spoke in perfect hegemonic standard. "We've been aware of your presence since you entered our system. Your report is very thorough, but contains several critical misconceptions we'd like to clarify." Guztik's appendages froze over the controls. "For instance, we don't have a dark fleet hidden on the moon. That would be inefficient. And the quantum fluctuations you detected weren't matter transfer technology that's centuries outdated." The scout's four eyes widened in horror. "We've decided to let you transmit your report, with one small addition from us. The humans aren't hiding something. We've been watching everything. For a very long time." The transmission ended. Guztik stared at his completed report, then at the starfield beyond his viewport, where Earth's seemingly primitive satellites continued their orbits. With trembling appendages, he transmitted his findings to High Command, adding one final line: "Recommend immediate diplomatic contact. Under no circumstances attempt standard assimilation protocols."